This is a bill for $25,000 for 1 month of work. This is a receipt proving that I deposited this money into my bank account. What I did to get this money is what you need to do to qualify for up to millions of dollars in funding coming from the federal government and private institutions, which is simply, ladies and gentlemen, to sell something. Now, you don't have to sell $25,000 for 1 month of work. You can sell anything whatsoever. For instance, take a look at my earnings breakdown for the videos that I've uploaded right here on this channel. You can go ahead and take a look at the dashboard. You can see that over the course of 5 years, Jukin Media has paid me $11,932.72 in licensing and ad revenue for a couple of videos that I uploaded to this channel, doing things with my family. Just take a look real quick. After the dad makes his first basketball trick shot with his son, I made $25.34 in ad revenue, $2,367.68 in licensing revenue. You probably saw that video in my last video when I basically told you how I got featured on national TV on Right This Minute. Here is a page, I believe, of where this is the basketball trick shot right here. You can take a look right here at, it doesn't have the amount of money that they charge in order to license this thing.
Almost.
Take a look at the other ones that I've licensed through Jukin Media and other licensing platforms. So it's licensing. Dad pranks sons with food rewards. I had them work hard in school for about a month, and then instead of giving them Transformers, I gave them vegetables. Actually, their most hated vegetables: celery to one son and a bag of lentils to the other. $5,642.15 in licensing fees. $2,085 in ad revenue. And, of course, the Colombians exploding after final goal in World Cup versus Japan. Only 4 cents in ad revenue, $1,812.51. Just take a quick look at the videos that, this is the prank one. You can see right here. For some reason, I thought it had the amount of money that they charge. Anyway, basically that thing got millions of views all over the place. It got syndicated all over the place. Got like about 100,000 views on my channel. I think Inside Edition uploaded to their channel, got like 2.1 million views. And this one, I actually filmed after watching Colombia score a goal in the World Cup. I caught the reaction, and here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Colombians party hard, in case you don't know. Anyway, to do this, I'm not going to say it's very simple, it's very easy to do, all right? Because this $11,000 you see right here, it probably accounts for about anywhere from an hour to 2 hours of work directly for these videos that made it. Nonetheless, it doesn't account for all the videos that I worked on for hours on end and to try to do something with, to try to generate some revenue by living my lifestyle, by living with my children, by going out with my family, which probably constitutes at the very least, 1 month of work. So at least even 1 month of work for $11,000, it's not bad. Nonetheless, I failed time and time and time again. I know what it is to lose, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I suffered probably the biggest loss that anybody will ever suffer in this world, which is the loss of my child. I lost him while my wife was 6 months pregnant back in 2018, and our family was absolutely devastated. So I had to hunker down. I had to nail myself down and put my full focus on my family. My older son was suffering through some issues in school. He was suffering through some emotional issues as well. We got featured on national TV, on local TV in New York City due to the issues he was encountering, racial issues back in his school. I can go ahead and show you the video of that. And I had to just focus on my family and get us through this, get us through all the emotional suffering. There's nothing like losing a son. Even though I didn't get to see him be born alive because he came out and I held him in my hand. He was like about 1 pound and a couple of ounces in weight. And I mean, my business took a hit, of course, because I had to focus more on my family. My wife, she probably got hit hardest. As a matter of fact, she was about to die during the entire thing. We were in the hospital for 2 weeks' time. So I know what it is to lose. And I came from absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York, ladies and gentlemen. Across the street, as I told you, from where President Donald Trump was born. That's where I used to hang out. It was a crack spot right there, right across Jamaica Hospital. There's a building called Trump Pavilion. Now, before I forget, you have to understand, these grants I'm about to show you right now, the president made his fortune, his family's fortune. Well, he didn't make it, but his father and his grandfather helped him make it. His father mainly made it due to loan subsidies, I believe through a housing agency, the FHA, if I'm not mistaken. The United States government funded him to build all these buildings in Brooklyn and Queens. Then President Donald Trump, he loaned some of that money that the Fred Trump was able to generate through those buildings in Brooklyn and Queens. He invested in Manhattan. Lo and behold, Donald Trump, which becomes President Donald Trump, 2016, 2017, until next January. They did it through this government funding. But you have to sell something, ladies and gentlemen, at the very least. Now, I've shown you requirements from the American Seed Fund, right? They want a legal entity, for instance. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. If you take a look at the American Seed Fund. Well, let's first take a look at the spreadsheet, because I've gone ahead and updated the spreadsheet with more grants that you can go ahead and apply for in order to fund your business idea, fund your business. Even if you don't have a business right now, remember, you are in the Mecca of capitalism, the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. And in this country, they facilitate the process for you to open a business. You simply have to sell something, and you will be considered by the Small Business Administration, a federal agency, as a non-employee firm, which constitutes the whopping majority of all small businesses in this country. There's over 25 million non-employee firms and 31.7 million small businesses in this country, which constitutes 99.9% of all businesses in this country, employing 60.6 million U.S. workers, half of the U.S. workforce. So we welcome you with open arms. All you have to do is sell something, and you can qualify for grants such as this, just like this NAV Small Business Grant, okay? I told you about this before. The NAV Small Business Grant was for $10,000. It's for $10,000 and $5,000. Look what it reads up here. The next round of NAV's Small Business Grant opens January 2021. So if you start a business right now, after you watch this video, of course, and you have a story to go ahead and share on NAV and to apply for this thing, they don't need an EIN. They don't need a legal entity such as other grants for small businesses. Nonetheless, you can qualify for this money, ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead and apply for it. I'm not telling you it's easy, okay? It's not easy for you to run a small business. Nonetheless, you will discover who you are, what it is for which you are passionate in life. Live your life, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a new grant that I didn't tell you about in the last video. This grant is with GoFundMe. As long as you could raise $500 for your small business through the GoFundMe platform, GoFundMe will match whatever you raise up to $500, $500 grant coming from GoFundMe, available to all non-employee firms or employee firms nationwide, okay? And it's very simple. Again, it's very simple for you to do it. Simply sell something, okay? It's not the easiest thing to do, but if you inform yourself, if you understand what you need to do, it doesn't have to be that complex. I mean, I could tell you, I used to share my videos on Reddit, and some of them used to pop off, some didn't. As you can see, I've got a few others that did generate revenue nonetheless. You take a look at how many videos. I got hundreds of videos on my channel and other channels. Take a look. So I went at it time and time again, lost time and time again, able to pull something from it. And that's business revenue. It's not coming as a W-2 employee. It's coming as a 1099, as a small business. It's as simple as this. Simply selling electronics you're not using in your home. I had this monitor that I purchased for my kids a couple of years ago. We only opened it once, flipped it on eBay, $71. And we drove probably about 800 miles or so just to deliver this thing, because I mistakenly put that people could pick it up. Nonetheless, I had it in North Carolina, and I had to take it to New York City. Now, I probably didn't make positive ROI off of it, considering I had to go to New York City anyway because I'm back and forth all the time. However, it was a lesson that I taught to my kids, that you have to service people. You have to be loyal when you conduct business. If you listen to what I'm saying, and there's no need to to be deceiving, all right? To lie to people, to not be loyal. I'm as loyal as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. I keep it funky with my people, okay? And I pray every single day for God to give me the wisdom, to give me the words in order to inspire you to get yourself out of any situation, because I've encountered the worst of situations. Again, I came up from Jamaica, Queens, New York, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody that I grew up with a couple of blocks from where I lived. He got raped by a Columbia University professor, okay? He popped some drugs into his drink. He woke up raped, and then he went back with a couple of friends. They smashed his brains in with a brick. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of people with whom I grew up. And that's just one of the stories, okay? The neighborhood where I grew up. My first job was in Bravo Supermarket out in the South Bronx. Okay, I used to hang out with some tough people, ladies and gentlemen. Killers, stick-up kids. This is during the crack wars, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I wouldn't come back by myself on the train because I knew I would get got, regardless of how tough I am. Unless I was going on there with an AK-47 or a Desert Eagle and knew how to operate that thing, I was getting got. I was getting stuck up, potentially killed in the South Bronx. So I came with nothing, no connections whatsoever. And as I showed you on the previous video, been a contributor to Forbes. I worked with the 2012 Barack Obama presidential campaign. People talk about, oh, you got to have the hookup. Then get the hookup, ladies and gentlemen. But how do you get the hookup? By informing yourself to be able to provide value for people. And once you're able to do that, then people will gravitate to you and say, listen, I need your help. And that's how you make connections. People always want something. And if you get enough people what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And it could start as simple as this, ladies and gentlemen, right here. $71, take your electronics sell quickly. Old IKEA furniture, in the event you got those in your home lying somewhere, they go like this on Craigslist. I haven't even finished putting up the post. I'm already getting emails of people that are interested in it. Look at this. Upcoming FedEx grant. Dates for the next contest in early 21. The next small business grant contest dates have not been announced yet. Sign up for FedEx email and be among the first to hear the next entry period dates. Okay? That's other grants. And these grants, they don't require LLCs. They don't require employee identification numbers, although those are easy to get as well. You go ahead and apply to your Department of State. It costs a little over $100. It cost me about $125 through the state of Florida to incorporate my LLC. EIN is free to get. You can go ahead and visit. And I have links to all this stuff right on the spreadsheet. You go to the Small Business Resources tab, and you've got links to all this stuff. You got how the federal government is recommending that you start a business. You got LegalZoom. This is written by legal experts, by lawyers. It tells you which state should you file your LLC in. And it gives you an idea of where you should file your LLC. What are the advantages of filing your LLC in different states? I can't find the link right now. Let me just load it up real quick so you can take a quick look. Right here, which state should you file your LLC? Forming an LLC in your home state, what's the benefits and disadvantages of that? Forming an LLC in Delaware, they have like their own court specifically for businesses. Forming an LLC in Nevada, forming an LLC in Wyoming. And you can typically operate that LLC wherever it is that you live. And you can enjoy the benefits of doing it. There's all kinds of benefits of you simply running a non-employee firm, side hustle, whatever it is you want to call it. It becomes a small business. It's independent money. You start to put it on your taxes. Pay the tax man as long as you do it. There was one mistake that I made one time that my accountant made, actually. Didn't file a form. He listed me as a partner. I didn't have any partners in my business as a partnered organization. And I think it was the IRS and the New York State Finance Department. They started calling me, asking for like about a little over $2,000. Simply spoke to them. Listen, there's not a partnership. There's a single owner LLC. We fixed it. They told me the documentation they had to file to go ahead and file an amendment. Nonetheless, don't take my advice as written in stone. Go ahead and consult your lawyer, consult a tax professional. If you use TurboTax to file your taxes, they actually give you access to accountants for the entire year that you are using the software in order to file your taxes. So you can get all kinds of expert advice coming from TurboTax professionals. So that's just one. It doesn't have to be through them. It could be through the people you know. And sometimes you have to have your tax professionals check your tax professional. Just like what Biggie used to say, get your lawyers to look after your lawyers. Understand? It's all up to you, but it's all about you being informed, information. You got to remember, human beings are the most vicious creatures on this planet. Lion is not the king of the beast, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because of our brains. And if you feed your brain with information, there's nothing that can stop you from doing anything. Okay? Because without our brains, we'd be shish kebabs for lions, for bears, and tigers as well. Okay? That's what makes us powerful. That's what gives us the ability to create tools, to use those tools to survive on this planet. Otherwise, we'd be extinct. So go ahead. Tap into that resource. Probably the most divine creation that God has had the pleasure to create, which is the human brain. With your heart, it constitutes the human spirit. It is unstoppable. Let's take a look at a few other grants, shall we? Shall. This is the Small Business Initiative through the GoFundMe, raise about $500. You can get that from friends and family, and then they'll match you $500, available nationwide. Now take a look at this. This is for the more ambitious among you. And this is not impossible to do. If I had the time, I'd probably do something like this. You have an innovative idea. I know people have crazy ideas all the time. And you think it's crazy. But look, whoever thought when planes first came out, people were like, no, I'll never hop on a plane. It can't happen. People used to think that you would catch some type of attack. It would be bad for your health just to jump on a train when those things were invented. Okay? And imagine when they drop planes. Who's going to jump on a plane? Dangerous. Who's going to fly? I think it was Michelangelo. I think he created like some fake wings and he fell and then he broke all kinds of bones and stuff. But eventually, human beings came up with ways to fly. So if you have some type of innovative idea that you could work with, NASA, you know who NASA is? They are soliciting these ideas through the SBIR. Remember, SBIR through the American Seed Fund, the Small Business Innovation Research and the Small Business Technology Transfer Program. You have until January 8th, 2021 to go ahead and solicit. And the beauty about this is you don't have to know this stuff, okay? This is another one. This is the United States Geological Survey. If you have a way, if you know somebody who codes or you code yourself, that's another thing. There's a good book that you should read if you haven't read as yet. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it reads, business owners, they don't have to be the smartest people in the room. And it's not, matter of fact, you don't want to be the smartest people in the room. Matter of fact, I don't know who said it, but if you are the smartest person in the room, typically you're in the wrong room, okay? You want to surround yourself around smart people. So if you know people that can code, you can hire coders on Upwork from other countries. 10, 15, sometimes $5 an hour. Of course, you get what you pay for. Nonetheless, you can hire people. And you can get someone to go ahead and produce a prototype to yank data from geological data that could be produced on a 3D platform, visualized. You can get funding from the United States Geological Survey, okay? And look, and they'll be considering your proposals through June 30th, 2021. The objective is so the federal government is able to identify more mineral sources, more sources of energy in the United States. You can take a look. Take a look at some of the data they've been yanking so far. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. It's called MRI, excuse me. So you see, this is where they've been yanking data from so far. These are some of the people that have been helping them with that. You can see it all listed right here. And all this stuff is linked right on the spreadsheet. Take a look. If you can help the federal government yank data from these places where they're not yanking data, when they're not performing this survey, the federal government has money for you, ladies and gentlemen. The opportunities are there. Let's take a look at NASA again real fast. Here, look, look how they guide you. They hold your hands through the proposal and submission process. They have all kinds of information over here, library. These are the details. Look, maximum contract value of $125,000. I believe they give you 2 grants of $125,000 or $125,000. You could potentially be eligible to receive, I think, up to 2 grants because this is two programs, the SBIR and the STTR. Period of performance is for 6 months, is for 13 months, or perhaps you just get one. SBIR, just read through the information. Read. Reading is fundamental. It's true what they used to say back in those commercials. The more you know, the more you grow. Maximum contract value of $750,000. And these are based off ideas, ladies and gentlemen. Simple ideas. Okay, you don't have to have an established organization that's already developing this stuff. Just come up with the idea and package it in a way that the federal government will accept it as a submission, and you're qualified for this money. As a matter of fact, someone in the comments section told me that they got invited to submit a proposal for the American Seed Fund. Someone in the comments section, after watching one of my videos, they put the pitch out. They had a good enough idea that the federal government is now accepting it. Is now taking them to the next step in the process. And may God bless that person. I forgot where the comment is, but if I could find it, I'll go ahead and show it to you. Anyway, here it goes. They have a whole interactive participation guide, the announcement, executive phase. This is all linked on the spreadsheet, to which I will link you below. And it gives you, look, preparation instructions and requirements. Has all the instructions right here. It's going back to school, but listen. You have to, what some people understand is they think that, all right, they did their high school, they did their 4 years of schooling. That's only the beginning. Listen, high school and college. I remember people all over the place be like, oh, we don't need this. Like, why we're learning this? We're never going to use this. Of course we're going to use all this stuff. We're going to use it because it gave us the foundation that we use in order to learn these more complex ideas. Because the day that you stop learning, you might as well be dead. That's why you got people hanging out in the bars all the time. They have nothing to do with their lives. Instead of enhancing themselves, you see all these multi-millionaires that they come out on CNBC. Look at Warren Buffett. Wait, does he read like a book a day or a book an hour? I don't even know the exact number. Look at Bill Gates. These people that have everything, they keep on learning and learning and learning. And that's where they consume their time. They have no time to be hanging out in a bar, listening to Perico Ripiao or Sal, you know what I'm saying? And drinking all the time with other people that are just exchanging brainless ideas. I mean, if you're doing it towards something productive, but you know most of what the people do, you know what I'm saying? So don't waste your life. Understand what I'm saying? Enhance yourself, because right in between your ears right here, God gave you the most divine creation ever known to man in this universe, okay? Which is going to allow us to manipulate everything that we do. What is the due date? Look, they have all the FAQs right here, right? When is the due date? Phase 2, January. Look, they got phase 1 right here, due by January 8th, 2021. There's time for all this stuff. And remember, none of this stuff has to be perfect. That's the key thing you have to understand. I believe it's Mark Cuban. I actually know his brother. Brian Cuban's a good friend of mine. He stated that, I believe, perfection is the enemy of execution. What I say is the person who wants everything absolutely perfect gets nothing done. Okay? This gives you a guide how to do business with NASA, identify your product, register your business. Look, right here. Seek additional assistance as needed. Look, if you need guides to this, you need help, you go to Procurement Technical Assistance Centers with the SBA. Consult with the SBA Procurement Center representatives. And I have links to all this stuff in the Small Business Resources tab. And on my spreadsheet, common challenges. Look, you can contact the government contracting. A lot of these employees at these government agencies, they're nice. They'll help you because you've seen my previous videos. I yanked all that data from the federal government. I showed you. I get you information from the FEC. Show you where the money's going. Why politicians are acting in a certain way because, for instance, like the Republicans getting paid off the Chamber of Commerce and the Democrats getting paid by the Trial Lawyers Association. And it's the battle of the lobbying titans to ensure that Democrats block business liability proposals and Republicans want business liability protections in the next stimulus package, right? I get that typically by calling the federal government. They guide me through their website. Say, listen, you want that data? Just go ahead and go visit this link. That's their job. Go ahead and tap into that resource if you want to get this data, this information. It's all information. Okay, look, these are the small business development centers. These are places that you can call. You can just go ahead and look up your zip code in Alabama, Alaska, you keep going, Fairbanks, and find these people that the federal government employs to help you. They contract them out, so get that help. And just take a quick look real quick, just so you can see it's not impossible. Look at the Kennedy Space Center, probably the most iconic NASA center, right? Kennedy Space Center, that's where you get all the launches and stuff, right? Look what they buy, what KSC buys. Guided missile and space vehicle manufacturer, industrial building construction. I know people who are contractors, if they potentially step up their game and learn a few new skills, they could be licensed to do industrial building construction, research and development, the physical engineering, engineering services. My uncle's an engineer. I got cousins who are engineers. I'm pretty sure there are a number of you out there that are engineering. They buy engineering services. If you find that there's a need for engineering services in NASA based on the research that you perform, you have a potential service you could sell to NASA. And look at this. This is probably the simplest. Security guards and patrol services. One of my clients he got hired actually. Yeah, he hired a retired police officer. He doesn't do security guard services, but he potentially has the ability to become a security guard for NASA, right? If you put together a package where if they need security guards, for instance. I used to work as a security guard in the airport before TSA took over. And you put together a team. You don't put together the team first. You go ahead and put the want ads out, all right? This is the way that I sell my services. You first come up with the plan. Okay, I have 10 security guards for X building in the Kennedy Space Center, right? And it's going to cost you $20,000 a month to fund these people. And you tell them the abilities of your police officers. They have this ability, this ability, this ability, this ability. When you put out your want ads, okay, you request all those abilities. You request all those skills from these retired police officers, from people who are qualified, from people who are ex-military, etc., to go ahead and perform these services. You don't hire them yet because you don't have the money to do so. Simply put out the want ads. You're going to start to get people. They're going to start sending you resumes and their portfolios. This is how business works. You first sell the contract. Once you sell the contract, then you take that money and you go ahead and buy these people's services. You hire them. Whether the contract's for $200,000, who knows? Those sound like extraordinary figures. Trust me, it's possible. Look, $25,000 for 1 month of work. I showed you, right? I came from nothing. Who would have thunk that a person, I used to run to Hillcrest. That's why I went to school. As a matter of fact, somebody shot me out in the comments section. Hillcrest, baby. I went to Hillcrest High School in Jamaica, Queens. That's why I graduated. I used to run to school all the way from Kew Gardens every single day. All right, someone that came from that area. And Hillcrest is in Jamaica, Queens, which is probably one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in this country. Someone that came with no connections whatsoever and was able to build that. Okay, built it from the ground up. As a matter of fact, speaking of President Donald Trump before, Fred Trump, his father, he went to Richmond Hill High School, right? And he helped build that. He helped build that empire. And his father before him, he came as a barber, and then I think he had like a brothel where he had a brothel for gold diggers that were climbing the mountains out in California, and then he came back, made all kinds of money. Anyway, they went to school in this area, right? They built it, they got out of Queens, and they went into Manhattan. Although, you know, he got a silver spoon in the mouth, whatever. I came from the part, like I didn't live in Jamaica Estates. He lived in Jamaica Estates. I didn't live in Jamaica Estates. No silver spoon in my mouth. No connections whatsoever. You see the people with whom I grew up. I used to be walking in and out of buildings where crackheads used to be taking a dump in the staircase. Bonkers, ladies and gentlemen. People used to blast guns on New Year's Eve, throwing stoves off the roof. Forget about it. Anyway, $25,000 retainers. So, can you do this? Absolutely. I know what it is to lose. I know what it is to try and try and try and try, and things don't come to fruition. But eventually, I learn to do things. If you learn to do things, if you stop, you go ahead and seek the information. Find specifics, find the case studies. How have other people been successful? Sit on the shoulders of giants so you can see as far as you can, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be unstoppable. You can put together a security guards and patrol services package for NASA, for any organization. And if you don't do it for NASA, you can do it for other organizations. It's needed. It's needed. And you can find retired police officers who want to make more money. You can find, so that's just one instance of it, okay? And NASA right now, they have a focus for helping veteran-owned small businesses. So if you're a veteran, I read a number of veterans in the comment section among my viewers. They prefer your service. If you have an innovative idea, whatever it is that you have, women-owned small businesses, they have all these plans. See, they have all these plans. As long as women are 51% owners, to hire these people. Hire people from historically black colleges and universities, minorities. And as I read to you in the previous video, that for you to apply for the American Seed Fund, you have to have your business filed as a legal entity. It doesn't have to be in your state. Remember, the business can be born anywhere, of course. Feel free. Go ahead and reach out to your lawyers, to your tax professionals, and go ahead and seek that assistance. This is just some tips from the California Secretary of State on how you could file. Okay, one disadvantage, I didn't get too specific on it, was that I think you have to pay an $800 tax in California every year for limited liability, so that may not work for anybody. So that may be a situation where you may want to explore the option of filing your LLC perhaps in Delaware or Maryland. But again, confirm with your tax professional, confirm with your lawyer, with your legal advice, get professional advice when it comes down to this. But again, just for you to have a business does not mean that you have to have this. All you need to do is sell something. Even if you don't get any grants whatsoever. Let's say you say, no, forget all those grants, they're too hard to get. If you sell something, you're still generating revenue, and regardless of whatever situation which I've been in a place where I haven't been able to find a job, okay, where I've gotten fired from a particular job for reasons that have been my fault, but at that particular point in time, I'm like, nah, it's not, people lying against me, right? But I made it my fault because of other reasons. I won't get too deep into it, but I've been in hard situations. Been in the Rocky Mountains, broke. Understand? I had to call my mother for like $150 because I had no more money for gas, so I can go ahead and drive down to Florida and check some problems that she had. Anyway, this is the American Seed Fund. Remember the National Science Foundation, grants of up to $1.75 million for an innovative idea so that you can commercialize your technically risky idea. Just again, remember the frequently asked questions. Must the proposing legal entity be formed at the time of the project submission, at the time of the full proposal? Submission of a project pitch is permitted even if no small business has yet been formed. The proposing small business needs to be legal entity at the time of full proposal submission. A legal entity is required to complete all the necessary registrations. However, phase 1, proposing small businesses need not have commenced company operations at the time of submission. As a matter of fact, the National Science Foundation prefers that you haven't fully formed your idea as yet. They want the idea. If it's something that's already been commercialized, they typically don't want it. So just by you having the idea, you can submit a project pitch for this, whatever it is. Of course, it has to be something very innovative. They funded projects such as the internet, Doppler radar, tissue generation, inkjet printers, so something that is ultimately going to change the planet. Again, think of it on the next level. Let's say you have the only no-carb pizza on your block. Imagine generating the process to manufacture not only the low-carb pizza, but to manufacture the dough for the crust of that pizza, which can also be used to manufacture dough for pasta, which is all zero carb or keto friendly, whatever the case may be, something that can be applied towards the development of several products, okay? Just like the internet, it is something that can be applied towards the consumption of media, towards the production and content creation, everything, towards the selling, everything. It contributes towards everything. So the more that your idea can contribute towards various industries, in other words, the more application that your idea has, the more of a chance that it can get something like this. Okay? And just take a look at more FAQs real quick for the National Science Foundation. So again, you don't have to have a legal entity. Just have the idea. Go ahead and submit the pitch. And then once you submit the proposal, now you have to have your LLC. Okay? And look, and then you have to qualify. And typically, to work with the SBIR, the Small Business Innovation Research and Small Business Technology Transfer Research Program, you have to register with DUNS. This is DMB. This is an organization that they keep information, credit information. It's important for you to have a DUNS number in order to qualify for business financing. So you will want to have this regardless. You have to have a DUNS number, okay? You have to, I just got to hit the back button on that one. You have to have a DUNS number. You have to register with the federal government. This is, by the way, the page that shows you where you register for that DUNS number. This is with Dun & Bradstreet. They keep information on your business credit, how you're paying back your debt. And I can get you into business financing as well once you start getting everything formalized. And of course, and you need all these legal entities to have your own bank account. Once you get it, it facilitates everything. You see, like, wow, why didn't I? You're going to kick yourself and say, Why didn't I do this sooner? Because I'm always kicking myself. Every time I learn something new, why the hell I didn't do this? I didn't do any of this sooner. There's a few other requirements. You have to register the small business in the system for award management and SAM. Basically, you have to set up profiles for your business before applying. Register your company with nsfresearch.gov. Log in through Fastlane. Register with the SBI Our Company Registry. See the registration page for more details. Links to all this are provided in the spreadsheet. This is another grant for Black founders. They give out grants actually every single month. In addition to $5K and $10K grants awarded monthly, okay, and $2,000 grants to Howard University student entrepreneurs. The Save Small Business Fund, this comes from the Chamber of Commerce. Just go ahead and type in your zip code right here, and once you type in your zip code, you'll be able to see whether you are eligible for any grants to the Save Small Business program. Grants.gov. This is actually the NASA grant that I told you about, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the Geological Survey. Yes, the United States Geological Survey grant. If you could yank that data for 3D presentation, then you could do that. The acquisitions map, you saw this one already. Rural Small Business Grant from LISC. This is another grant that's available to people who have rural businesses. And this is a grant actually to adults. They say young adults, but relatively everybody's young. The planet's been here for what, billions of years? Even if you're 100 years old, you're a whippersnapper, ladies and gentlemen. Look, eligible Fulbright Canada post-virus challenge participants are young persons who are the age of majority and reside in Canada or the United States. They may be students, early career professionals, or young community leaders, or simply a young person with an extraordinary idea and a commitment to sharing that idea. Applications are welcome from individuals or team. An innovative idea to help us get through this crisis. They help you fund for this. Look at these awards available to you. So there's money out there, ladies and gentlemen. I also have I've included in the spreadsheet a free education or low-cost education tab, and here's some of the sources that you can get. Now, this is how I got started building my own business. I basically have an advertising agency, an online advertising agency, and I got certified through Google to operate their advertising platform, and you can do that for free right here on this link right here, okay? They get you a Google ad certification, and you could show that to a client. Say, listen, I'm a Google certified professional. I can advertise for this. Basically, you take X amount of dollars to turn it into Y amount of dollars, right? You bid on just one way of advertising through Google is you bid on keywords that people use to find videos on YouTube or to find search results. You say, all right, let's say you're representing a tire company, you radial tires or snowproof tires in Queens, New York, right? And you bid for that keyword. You say you pay $5 per click on that keyword on behalf of a client. You just have to ensure that that client makes more than the amount of clicks that it takes for someone to generate a sale, for that business to generate a sale. Okay, so let's say it takes 10 clicks at $5 a piece. So you could sell one tire, right? So that's $50. 10 clicks, the tire costs $200. You've just made your client 5x on that client's money. Okay, so they're gonna be smiling. They're gonna continue to hire you on a monthly basis. That's how I got my start into real business. I haven't been one of these genius entrepreneurs that used to sell garbage bags back to door to door. My first business venture was trying to sell 3 lives in Super Mario Brothers when I was the only person in Miami with a Nintendo Entertainment System. And my mother shut that down quickly because the kids started complaining because I was charging them to play on my console. Anyway, you could also learn how to do finance, services, media, entertainment, healthcare, nonprofit, law practice, all kinds of free training right here on Google. And listen, anything that you could do, you got to get a job doing it, or you could simply sell it as a service. Some companies, they don't need employees. They need contractors to perform these services for them. And I'm going to show you where you could use some of these skills. Look, Google Workspace certification to work Google Drive, Workspace certification to work Gmail, how to plan and budget. They have, look, for adult learners, all this stuff. Look at all this information out here for free. digital literacy on Microsoft products. This is for free, right? And you could sell whatever service that you learn using these free education right here, for instance, on Fiverr. Look, you can create spreadsheets for people at $5 a piece, $10 a piece, $50 a piece. I mean, I've heard stories, people making thousands of dollars on Fiverr. I haven't heard anybody make millions, but they make money on Fiverr. Okay, Fiverr, or you could sell your services right here. For instance, you're a social media manager, simply updating social media profiles for businesses. Look, some people charge $50 an hour, $8 an hour just to be an Instagram manager, be a social media manager. Certified Nurse Assistant program. Look at this. This is a California program. I believe it costs $750, if I'm not mistaken, for you to take this class, which is very cost effective because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it costs about a few $1,000s in order to take this class. But you get it through, and this is all linked right on the spreadsheet, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to enhance yourself. Bilingual medical training assistance. This is here in New York City, right? Now, they have two programs. They have one that goes to the school they don't pay for. This should be fully paid for. Okay, if you meet the requirements, you can't generate over a certain amount of money, then they have the application right there. They have the full application. You fill it out. You can go ahead and call them and ask them what's up with this. They'll pay for you to be trained to become a medical assistant. Okay? And I have all that linked. And just remember, it may be overwhelming at first. You take a look at this entire list and like, damn, I got to go through all this information for me to do something out of myself. But listen, what else do you have to lose? If I'm not mistaken, it's the Pareto principle, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm saying it right. Anyway, what you do is you take 25 minutes to fully focus on something, take a 5-minute break. Then 25 minutes again, a 5-minute break. Try to work for 4 of those initially, okay? Go ahead and look. And I've got all these other grants as well before I even go. And I'm going to have more grants and more resources listed in this spreadsheet in the next video. So ensure you click the like button, click the subscribe button, and click the bell notification to stay on top of all the grants and all the opportunities that are available to you, okay, to get you out. Look, I have all these other grants. These are all nationwide. Nationwide, that means it's available to everybody nationwide. And I've got these other grants, new grants. I'm not going to go through all of them because this video is already too long as it is, that target the areas that these programs service. So in Oregon, Michigan, New York, Colorado, Pennsylvania, nationwide is for everybody in the country. Small business resources, I added a lot more small business resources. I have small business resources in every state as well. Florida, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Idaho, North Carolina, New York, you name it. And here are some grants also for individuals, people who don't operate a small business, they don't do any side hustles, rent utility assistance, $420 for groceries out in New York, $5,000 in Florida and Polk County. TDI Creative Catalyst Grant, $100,000, the free education, what I discovered in November. Let me know what you think. Drop your comments and questions and feelings in the comments section below. Watch this video right here. For more grant coverage, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification to stay on top of all the resources to which I link you in updated versions of this spreadsheet. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet. Talk soon. I love each and every one of you.